I got to ask you about Travis Hunter, man.
Yes.
I mean,
The unicorn.
how, like, walk me through that draft room moment. The Browns are on the clock. I imagine this was discussed ad nauseum in your building.
Well in advance, and it really speaks to the preparation. I think James Gladstone, Liam Cohen, Tony Baselli, we have a great football leadership and really, really a lot of great communication. This was something that James and the team had been talking about for a long time. Mm-hmm. To me, I really think it's just brilliant. As an analytics person and working in football analytics, Travis Hunter had some of the most impressive statistics on both sides of the ball, and to be able to bring in somebody that can add so much value to the team on both sides of the ball, and with the great plan that Liam has to use Travis in, I just think he's going to be so great. He's also a great human being, and James believes in doing that kind of work. We had really a lot of great communication well in advance about it. They had made the deal in advance, and barring anything unforeseen with the number 1 pick, this was going to happen. And I just think for a person who's a first-year general manager, James had great composure and a great plan, and it was very impressive.
Well, I mean, mass celebration, I imagine, right? When this thing got...
Yeah, okay, absolutely.
Right, and when this thing gets pulled off, and again, I know... Again, as you are the chief football strategy officer, you deal with the analytics more than most. This, to me, could be one of the most analytics-driven draft picks ever because of what he can do at 2 positions. And what he can do at 2 positions, I didn't think, again, people are like, wow, it's not even for a quarterback. You're trading a first-round pick and the next year's draft for it. I looked at it as like, okay, even the second-round pick you gave up, you could take the top receiver here. You won't get the top corner, top of 2, second round. You could take the top corner here. You're not getting the top receiver in round 2.
Right.
And you got the same guy in both, right? And to me, that's a no-brainer is the way I was looking at it. I'm wondering what you saw from the analytics side of things, or if there's any numbers you can bring to bear to this conversation where you're like, this is what we've got to do.
Absolutely. I think, like I said, James had great points about Travis being somebody who would be a difference maker on both sides of the ball that could contribute as a top receiver and as a top corner. And for us, I think Liam's got a great plan to integrate him, and knowing that going into the draft and realizing if you're going to try to account for the trade value of a player, this is a very unique situation. You're not accumulating, is exactly what you said, Rich. You're not just looking at the trade value of a top receiver or a top corner. You're looking at both. And for the way Liam plans to involve him, I think it made a lot of sense. And certainly from an analytics standpoint, I thought it was a great move. And I'm very excited about Travis Hunter in Jacksonville. And I think all the fans are. It's going to be great for the Jaguars.
No doubt. I mean, all right, well, that's twice you've mentioned about Liam Cohen's plans. What are his plans, Tony?
I think he's been super open about it, that Liam plans to involve Travis on offense and defense. I think in our off-season activities already early in minicamp, and we've seen Travis work on both sides. And really, he's been very impressive on both sides. And it's very early, but I think he's got a great group of coaches to work with on both sides of the ball. So we're really excited about it. And I think Liam's talked about it a good amount, that he really believes Travis can contribute on offense and defense.
I want, all right, screw it. I'm just going to walk through the front door.
Here we go.
Right?
Yep.
I want 100 snaps a game. Out of him. Tony.
Yeah, just forward that to Coach Cohen. Yeah, Tony,
I'll tell him
he
knows I'm knocking on his door.
Yeah.
I might as well say it in the microphone with you sitting here, Tony, because I've said it in the microphone without you sitting here. I want to see 100 snaps a game. I want to see 50 on either side of the ball. And because and again, you are not just, in your capacity with the Jaguars, but also your capacity, what you're doing with AEW wrestling. Stars are so tough to come by. Buzz is so tough to come by. Fan interest absolutely is a metric. And that translates and permeates. You've got one. Yes. You drafted one, man. So That's what I want to see. I want to see 100 snaps.
Well, I think there's gonna be different game flow. I mean, you're an expert. You're one of the leading commentators in NFL history, so you know very well that different games have different flows. But I know he's gonna contribute and play a lot of snaps on both sides of the ball, and it's gonna be really great for the Jags, which I think we have such a great group of young players and a great young core.
Yes.
And now to be able to add a player like Travis Hunter, it's really exciting.
Yeah, and I know you're in a tough spot. I don't mean to put you in a tough spot because you delegate. You know what I mean? You're not going to put your dad, you and your dad and everyone else are not going to put your thumb on the scale with a new head coach. I in a new coaching staff. I get it. But I want to see him out there.
Well, 100's a lot, man. But
I'll tell you. But what are the number? What do you have any number? Have you run numbers about what it would look like, or what percentages of coverages would mean? Or you've got the numbers in front of you.
And I love talking about stats and analytics. So being able to talk about snap counts on TV with you is really special.
Yes.
But in this case, I think Liam's got a good plan, and he's been pretty open about it. That he believes Travis can get involved as a top player on both sides of the ball.
Right.
But I will let him know. He may be watching right now. Highly likely.
Yeah.
So
I want to see the first ever offensive and defensive rookie of the year be the same person.
That would be really cool, wouldn't it? I grew up, like I said, in Champaign, and he was the top player. He won the Heisman Trophy, and he played on all three phases, and that's Charles Woodson when I was growing up. Now, Charles Woodson became a Hall of Fame player and a top defensive player in the NFL.
Yes.
But now, I've never seen somebody that, in my opinion, is as versatile as Travis, which is really exciting because I think he can do so many different things. And to meet a human being that loves football and is just such a pleasure to be around and brings so much joy to playing football, it's really, really exciting. And I think the fans were already really excited about the core players because, Brian Thomas Jr. came in last year, is absolutely fantastic. Mm-hmm. And I think top player. Trevor Lawrence, I believe, is a top young quarterback, and to have so much talent around him, and now to have Travis Hunter on defense as well. You just had Josh Hines-Allen.
Yes, he did, right in that chair.
In this very chair.
He says hello, by the way.
And I say hello to him, and
I love him, by the way.
He's a great person.
He's a real pro.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Like he's a pro's pro.
He's a great talent,
right? And
it's really exciting to be able to also bring a top player like Travis Hunter now to that defense with those great pieces there.
He brought up a concept that none of us thought about, is that he is, I don't know if you saw this about that he is going against in practice the same people whose room he's going to walk into for a meeting. Like he's going up against a corner, beating that corner, and now going to be in the cornerback room. And if he's a corner and he's going to be shutting down a receiver, then he shows up in the receiver room. And he's putting stuff on tape that might not be beneficial to his roommates. You know what I mean? And he's handling it in a way that it seems. But that's what when you got Dion basically downloading you with this information and getting you ready for the world, I think. He's a I don't blame you for going to get him. I really couldn't be more high on.
It was a brilliant idea when James and Liam and Tony and everybody we all got together. Right. I really think James had a brilliant strategy here, and I hope it pays off for the Jags and the fans.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.